Natalie, you've been on a roll lately, haven't you? Bella? What the hell are you talking about? Don't play with me. When I went to the trouble of trying to get free food with Savannah's money, didn't you sidestep me? Because of that, I had to eat on my own dime. No, isn't it common sense to eat out on your own money? Why do you have to make it sound like I did something wrong? That's because eating out on other people's money is my way of making life worth living. I wonder if you're having so much fun taking that away. I don't want you to make that your life's purpose, though. There must be more. Other things that make life worth living. Shut up. Anyway, You're driving me nuts. If it's come to this, then I'll make everyone hate your store. What? Make everyone hate my store? That's right, your store. It's a fancy restaurant, isn't it? And at that, fine dining restaurant. I'll make reservations for a course meal for 50 people. Hey. You say for 50 people. Do you have that many acquaintances? What? Who said that I do? I just wanted to make you pay. Don't talk like such a fool so brazenly. I run a restaurant for a living. If you're going to say something that messed up, I'll never let you get in our store. Oh my! Even though you're running a business, how could you be so picky on your customers? That's mean, and even more so, I'm a Mom's Club member. You are a terrible person to refuse someone from our club. It's because you were making such crazy demands. Coming here just to harass me? So if I do that, I wonder if you'll stop messing with me. What? You were the one who harassed me first. All I wanted was a free meal. So isn't it your fault for getting in the way? You say stuff like that, but it's because I felt bad for Savannah. I only did it with the intention of helping her. All I'm saying is that it shouldn't be better eating at the expense of others, isn't it? Shut up! Because that's what I live for. Aside from taking away someone's reason for living, you're even giving me a sermon. That's because something like that shouldn't be what makes life worth living. I'm telling you, don't make that your life's purpose. Because if you keep saying something ridiculous like that, things aren't going to end well, okay? Sorry I canceled 3 minutes before the reserved time for 50 people. Is the loss so bad that the store is going under? This is how I'm warning you. You should be sorry for your behavior that got you in the mood. But we've been prepaid with a credit card. What? Are you an idiot? You entered your credit card as the payment method when you made the reservation, didn't you? So because of that, it got all settled. You'll get the cancellation fee if you cancel, okay? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not going to pay a cancellation fee. Cancel it now, for free. Sorry, but if we do a same-day cancellation, you'll get charged a 100% cancellation fee. Since you've already paid in advance, you don't have to show up if you're not coming. All we have to do is figure out what to do with all this food. Oh no, that's awful. Even though I'm the one who reserved all of that food, and you want to use it for something else? That's right. We can't just go about wasting food anyways. And what? You've paid for it. So you're coming to eat? How could I possibly eat food for even less than 50 people? I know, right? So what I'm going to do with all this food is to have my staff go outside and try and get some new customers to come into the restaurant. My staff is very good at that, so I'm sure they'll do well bringing in customers. No, don't do that. I'm the one who's going to receive it in the first place. You can't just make it your call and take away what was reserved for me. Even if you tell me that, you're the one who canceled. So since you've canceled, this food is mine now. I'm free to do what I want with it. You understand? What's with that tone? Are you trying to stir things up? Don't think you can make fun of people. Well, you're the one who's crazy. Do you usually cancel on the day of an event? And only to harass me? You're a little out of whack. The way you think, and also the way you hold a grudge against me? Well, it's because that's just the way it is. You keep getting in the way of me making the most out of life. You talk a lot about me getting in the way of making the most of your life. The other moms in our club couldn't believe it, too. You know? How could you make something like that as your life's purpose? Like, don't you have anything else to do? Is what we were thinking. What did you say? They're making fun of people? Well, that's just the way it is. Because what you have as your life's purpose is bizarre, you know? Shut up! I'm not doing anything crazy. Everyone has their own reason for living, don't they? I just happen to eat on other people's money. That's all. You know, if it's okay not to be negative, I'm not a negative type of person, but your purpose in life is clearly a behavior that hurts others, you know? I just want to put it out there that it's something I'd like to deny. Can you understand that? I don't know. How can you possibly understand? Anyway, you're being rude to me. That's the one thing I really can't tolerate. I will get my revenge on you one way or another. That's right. This time, I won't make the mistake with the payment method. I will do enormous damage to your store. I'm going to have a course meal for about 100 people. How about I cancel it? If I do that, I wonder if you'll still think that you have the upper hand. I see. You're still thinking about that crap. Well, whatever. If it makes you happy, I won't even bother trying to stop you. But first, before that, do you know how much food for 50 people costs? A single course is $220 per person, so it would cost $11,000, okay? Uh-huh. Wow. 11,000 bucks? It costs that much? I don't know what your credit card limit is. How could you pay $11,000 with a credit card? On the contrary, I'm impressed. What the hell? I just wanted to harass you. Why should I pay $11,000? That's unreasonable, indeed. No, it's not unreasonable. Our store charges a fair price. But if you end up canceling, it's gonna be your fault for not checking the amount, isn't it? Shut up. Because of you, this is happening to me. What are you going to do about it? If my husband finds out about this, I'll say it's all your fault. I'm going to hold you accountable. Well, if your husband understands that it's really my fault, then that's good, isn't it? I just don't think that he'll be convinced, though. Oh, no. My husband would surely take my side. Maybe. You don't look so sure. Are you okay? No, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I mean, if you're going to worry about me, then pay me $11,000 instead. Sorry, I can't do that. After all, this is a business. I'll take your $11,000, and I'll figure out what to do with the food, too. My staff's usually quick to do what I say, so it looks like they brought in new customers. Huh? You're really bringing in new customers? Don't be stupid. That food was mine to begin with. Just because I don't show up, aren't you taking the liberty of serving it to other customers? Because you... Look at your watch. It's long past your reserve time, isn't it? Besides, you yourself called us to cancel. This food is no longer yours. It's for the new customers that are coming in. Don't just say whatever you want. Oh no. Then I won't be able to have a good meal. It's going to be me having wasted a lot of money. Yeah, I know. Which is why I think it's stupid. What's stupid? Go to hell. You're the reason I'm in this mess. Don't you think for a minute that you aren't responsible for this? What? Why do you think I'm responsible for this? I'm not responsible for any of this, okay? Yes, I do. It's your fault we're here. I just lost $11,000. If only you treated me better, then this would never have happened. I don't understand what you mean, if only you treated me better. But why should I treat you well? I don't think there's any need to do that at all. What? Don't be rude. I deserve better. Because we're both in the same mom's club. Moms should be treated well by their fellow moms, right? If you really care about other moms, I can still understand the story. You see? To you, the other moms are just like a bank or something, don't you? Especially Savannah. I heard it, you know? I've heard that you've been taking from her, a bit here and there. What? What are you talking about? I don't know anything about that. Don't play dumb with me. Because you've been taking money from Savannah bit by bit, she's struggling to make ends meet because she has no money. Why don't you take a little responsibility for that? Well, I can't do anything about it even if you say that. I don't have any money either. What? What do you mean? Well, yes, and I'm going to come clean on this one, because I'm broke. I'm just trying to get by without money and figuring out what to do. So inevitably, I have no choice but to rely on someone else's money, you know? What's that? Are you saying that you've been taking money from other people for that reason? Yes! Why does it matter? Not having money isn't an option. I do feel sorry for you for not having money, but taking people's money? I guess I can't forgive that. I know what you mean about having to put up with a lot because you don't have the money, but I guess you got the idea that you should just take it from someone else. Come on, what's wrong with that? There should be nothing wrong with that, right? It's just that I'm figuring out ways in order to survive. Oh, really? But to the very end, you still don't think that you did something wrong. Well then, there's nothing more I can say. It would be best if you paid the $11,000, and if your husband got mad at you, I think. What a heartless thing to say! I'm a Mom's Club member. I'm in so much trouble, you know? And yet you say such awful things. You think you'll be forgiven for that? Compared to you, who's done so many terrible things to the other moms, I don't think this is as bad. I mean, it's not like I was doing anything horrible. Aren't you the one who's ruining yourself? And don't make it sound as if it's my fault. Well, obviously it's your fault. I'm sure it's prepaid. You should have told us in advance. What? I told you, just now. Well, just now doesn't make any sense. I'm saying that you should have told me earlier. No matter what you're told, you're the one who keeps misinterpreting things, so you brought this on yourself. I don't want it to be my fault either way. At the most, telling yourself over and over that it's not your fault is good, right? Not that it changes reality. You'll probably feel better that way. Why do you put it like that? You have to do it. Please, please do something about the money. Bella ended up spending $11,000 on credit cards. I heard that her husband found out and got very angry with her. She was subsequently barred from using credit cards, and even things such as eating out by herself or hanging out with the Moms Club members have been forbidden for her. They also say that Bella is no longer free to do anything. Bella, having lost her freedom, stayed at home without having any way to pass the time. Every day has become quite dull and gray for her, it seems. Well, there's really nothing left to say except you reap what you sow. So, I've got nothing more to say. After that, now that she's no longer around, we never have to worry about money being taken away, and we're able to enjoy being in the Moms Club. Hey, Alice, are you free Friday night? Can you take care of my child? It's fine, but what's wrong? I just wanted to go out to eat for a bit. Oh, with whom? With my husband, of course. Who else would it be? That's nice. It's said that even though they have kids, couples should still have some quality time together as a couple. Right? Well, I'm counting on you. It'll probably be a little late because I'll be drinking a little. I'll come get my kid when I'm done. Alrighty. My husband, daughter, and me, 3 of us living together. Ruby is a part of our Moms Club in my daughter's elementary school class. She seems to cherish her quality time with her husband a lot, several more times after this. It feels like I'm her go-to person when it comes to looking after her daughter. Alice, is it okay to ask if you could look after my daughter for the next 3 weekends? All 3 weekends? In that case, won't Maya get lonely? Maya will be fine. Please, because I already got my ticket. A ticket? Where are you headed to? A trip to Hawaii. Then why don't you take Maya with you? It doesn't have to be just the 2 of you. You could take a family vacation together. But isn't it better to have quality time together as a couple? You even praised me for doing so. That's true, but lately I've been taking care of Maya every weekend. So, with that said, aren't you going too far? What? That's not true. If my husband and I start drifting apart because you wouldn't look after Maya, will you take responsibility? What kind of couple cracks at the mere thought of letting their child join them on a trip? Well, in any case, I can't take my kid on this trip to Hawaii. Because if I do, I'll get in trouble. Well, fine. I don't really mind. So it's settled then. Thanks! But the day before the 3-day weekend that I was scheduled to go, Maya had a high fever, so she had to be admitted to the hospital urgently. Ruby, I'm sorry to hear about Maya. Yeah, I was surprised I had to bring her to the hospital. But in a way, maybe it was good timing. Well, it's a good thing you hadn't left yet. Yeah, I was told that she has to stay at the hospital for at least 3 days, so you don't have to stay with her as much. What? What do you mean, stay with her? Oh, you forgot? You promised to take care of her for me while I'm in Hawaii, right? Hey, wait a minute. Your child is in the hospital and you want to travel? Because I can't cancel anymore. You should cancel even if it costs you money. And Maya is still in elementary school. Doesn't she need a chaperone at the hospital? You can be the chaperone. Huh? What are you talking about? Why do I have to be the chaperone and not you, her own mother? Because you already agreed to take care of Maya for this 3-day weekend, didn't you? Well, yeah, initially, but... Then don't pretend you didn't make a promise just because she got hospitalized. You'll be responsible for her, and you'll be the one to take care of her at the hospital. No. The situation's different now, so I'm not talking about promises or anything like that. What? Alice! Are you the kind of person who would break a promise that easily? How awful. But you're the one who's terrible here. I can't believe you're going to Hawaii when your kid's in the hospital. What does your husband say? Oh, my husband? He doesn't know, you see. Huh? Your husband is going to Hawaii with you, right? Because your child was hospitalized. Didn't I tell you to cancel the trip? My husband leaves everything to me. Like, my husband's will is my will, right? You and your husband are the worst, huh? Okay, I'll send you the name of the hospital later, so please take care of her starting tomorrow, okay? You don't even have to prepare food, so it's a lot easier than watching over her at your house. And with that, Ruby really left her child at the hospital and went on a trip to Hawaii. I had no choice but to go to the hospital and take care of her. That night, however, Maya's condition got worse. I tried calling Ruby several times, but she wouldn't answer at all. Alice, you've been calling me too many times now. I'm on vacation. Aren't you being absurd? Which one of us is being absurd here? Isn't it much worse to go on a trip and leave your child behind? So, what do you want? I won't forgive you if you weren't doing anything important. Ruby, is this because not only do you lack common sense, but you also lack imagination? Of course it's about Maya. What's wrong with Maya? I hope you've been visiting her at the hospital regularly. Her condition has gotten worse. They'd like to discuss further treatment, so they asked me to call her parents. Oh, yeah. Tell them that I can't because I'm in Hawaii right now. I'll leave it to you. Leave it to me? Even though you're her mother? Aren't you worried about Maya? That's how much I trust you. How's that? Aren't you happy? I'm not happy at all. It's nice that you trust me and stuff, but how about making the effort to come back as soon as possible? Are you stupid? How can I go home early when I'm taking a vacation in Hawaii? You're only there just for fun, right? How can you not go home when it's an emergency situation with your child? You have no idea just how much I've been looking forward to this. Besides, our kids should be happy that their parents are getting along well. Husband and wife. So, you were with your husband? Yeah, of course, it's a couple's trip. But when I called earlier, I was told that your husband is in Colorado. Huh? A call? Who did you call? I called your husband. How could you know my husband's contact information? I heard it at the hospital. I've been told they've been wanting to call you, but you hadn't been answering your phone at all. That's because we were eating. With the person with whom you're having an affair? Huh? What are you talking about? Because it is, isn't it? There's no way your husband in Colorado could go to Hawaii with you. The only person you'd lie about going on a trip with your husband would be someone you're cheating on him with. That's... When your husband heard that he'd been traveling to Hawaii, he was surprised. You told him? Of course. Because I was totally fooled into thinking that he's with you. What did you say? I said, I'm sorry to interrupt you while on vacation in Hawaii, but is Ruby there? Is what I asked. Then he told me that he's been working alone in Colorado for the past 6 months. I wonder if he's misunderstanding something. He's a husband with a few loose screws in his head. That's why. I think the one who has a few loose screws in the head is you, Ruby. How do you spend some quality time with your husband while he's working alone? So it's actually your affair partner that you're doing it with. Please, don't tell my husband about this. My husband is the type that would never forgive me for cheating on him or something like that. How crazy can you be to know that and still cheat on your husband? I'm away from home, so I thought he'd never find out. Ever since we had our kid, I've never been able to see him. And besides, I found someone who will take care of it. You mean your go-to person? You've been playing me from the beginning. I feel bad. It's like I was helping you to cheat on him. That's right. I mean, aren't you just as guilty? Let's both tell my husband that it was nothing. Is your brain in La La Land? There's no reason for me to say such a thing, is there? I'll be honest with your husband about everything. Stop it. If you do that, he'd know I was cheating on him. Obviously. It's because I also intend to let your husband know all about it. If you do that, I'll get divorced. I thought you were prepared to do that by cheating on your husband. I wonder if you hadn't thought that far ahead. It means you're really a dumbass. Please! I apologize for everything I've done. Even if you apologize, it doesn't make what you did go away. And if you're going to apologize, it's not me. It should be to your husband and your daughter, right? Of course I feel bad for my husband and Maya. You should have really realized that earlier. And they also really would have wanted to be with you. You're right. Then I'm going home right now. It's too late, you know. How convenient it is to be desperate when you're about to be found out. You would know, wouldn't you? It can't lead to a divorce. If it's resentment, you should resent the one who went on a cheating trip a few days ago. I can't be bothered to explain it to you. I'm going to let your husband know about this conversation. That's terrible. That would be the end of us. Don't tear us apart. I thought that I'd been taking care of Maya for your and your husband's sake, but it turns out that you're the one who betrayed me first. I'm not the one who's tearing your relationship apart. If only you would shut up. Everything would be fine. That doesn't make you sound remorseful, does it? You have to pay for what you've done. I'll reflect on what I've done. I swear. It's hard to believe you. When I think of all the vile behavior I've seen, Ruby won't know what to do with it unless it hurts. Oh no. Please, help me. I won't do it again. I absolutely hate divorce. Forgive me. Her husband divorced her immediately and took custody of their daughter. The daughter was happy to go with her father. Her affair partner became disillusioned with her after the fact that she left her daughter in the hospital. She got dumped by him, and so it seems that Ruby is quietly living her life alone and lonely.